Welcome, folks, to another exciting episode of Altadena Talks. I am one of your co-hosts, Brian Bacchus.
The other co-host, Jamal Smith. Go ahead.
We are doing season 4, episode 193. We got 7 more episodes before we hit the infamous 200. And we got some very special guests lined up, set up for you for that day. So stay tuned to that. In the meantime, we are coming on a tad bit late because there was technical difficulties. But Jamal's going to jump right into the announcements. And as I do my stuff in the background, good morning, Erica. Good morning, Marcus. Thank you for participating. Really appreciate you. And I will be sharing this with you in the messenger group soon. So if you have your weekly shares or daily shares, please stay tuned for that. And Jamal, take it away.
Here we go. Go ahead.
Don't forget to like me so I can show you how to
I do like you, B. You're a nice guy, man. Come on.
Not me.
Always.
The page.
Well, that's what you said.
I don't care if people don't like me. I don't care. I'm bringing you the information. I don't care if you don't like the way I deliver it. I don't care. We've been doing this for 9 months. And if you don't like it, don't watch. Just don't. Forget it. Forget we existed. We're just here out of the kindness of our heart and a love for our town to help you get what you need. So,
and I'm going to say,
I know we got some haters out there. I don't want to mention.
I'm not even going down that path. I'm going to talk about how our third co-host is like resting her chops because she's been doing some great interviewing. She did a couple great interviews this week, so she's resting her chops. She's going to be an observer and participant in the Altadena Talks podcast. And with that, I'm going to move right on to the announcements. Yeah. So I got the new slide now. So the Altadena Community Center. Here's a new slide. So visit the Altadena Community Center. It is the survival support location. It's located at 730 East Altadena Drive. They actually have, the folks at FEMA currently, Office of the Assessor, Crisis Counseling, Disaster Case Management before their last day on site. So make sure you see all these folks because all those folks that I just mentioned are part of FEMA and some other federal stuff, and their last day is going to be October 17th. So head up there Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. If you want to find out specifically who's going to be up there on the particular day you're thinking about going, go ahead and scan the QR code, and that'll actually provide the information for you. We do still have the LA County One-Stop Permit Center located at 464 West Woodbury Road, Suite 210 in Altadena. They have walk-in hours Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And you can also set up a rebuild consultation appointment as an individual or a small group. Those are available Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., as well as Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon. You can also set up a Southern California Edison planner appointment. Those are available on Mondays and Wednesdays from 8 a.m. to noon. Now, to set these up, you do have to go to the website, recovery.lacounty.gov/rebuilding/1-stop-permit-centers. You want to scroll down to the flyer for the Altadena one and then click the link to do the appointment. So the county is waiving and refunding permit fees for homeowners rebuilding after Eaton and Palisades fires. Homeowners who've already paid their fees can potentially have them refunded, and those who've yet to pay your fees, you can have them potentially waived. To qualify, you must demonstrate that you both owned and lived in the property prior to the 7th of January of this year. And the eligible projects are the replacement of a single-family home, that was destroyed by either of the fires. That does include accessory units such as ADUs, pools, garages, and things like that. In addition, standalone ADUs for the temporary occupancy during the rebuilding also is a qualified project. Now, what's not eligible are rental properties, multifamily or temporary housing projects, or commercial properties, in addition to those properties not damaged by fires. Now, how to apply to get your waiver or refund? Well, you scan the QR code to actually get access to an online form, or you can visit the website recovery.lacounty.gov/fee-waivers-and-refunds. And once you're on there, you can fill out the form and you can include it as an attachment and send an email to recovery@planning.lacounty.gov, or you can print it and walk it into one of the locations, either the One Stop Permit Center, or you can walk it into the Altadena Resource Center. The nice thing is only one form is needed for all departments, so that is very helpful. And then CalAssist Mortgage Fund, they're actually giving you mortgage relief. It's 3 months of mortgage payments up to a maximum of $20,000. The funds never have to be repaid, and it's free to apply. And if you do qualify for one of these grants, the money is paid directly to your mortgage servicer and not to you. To determine if you're eligible, first thing is your primary residence must have been destroyed or considered uninhabitable due to the fires at Palisades or Eaton, or any other qualified disaster that may have happened between the 1st of January 2023 through the 8th of January 2025. You must also own and occupy the home with up to 4 units on the property, as well as meet the combined income limits of $140,700. Now, if you do apply, you want to make sure that you are prepared to provide your mortgage statements, bank statements, your utility bills, your homeowner's insurance, or your FEMA claim, or your proof of or in addition, your proof of income. Here we go here. Now, to actually apply, you want to go to CalAssistMortgageFund.org. And if you need some help over the telephone, you can actually do so by calling 800-501-0019. And this is Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. What happened? Oh. And if you need, what happened? There we go.
You have us in this shot.
I didn't do that. There we go. What is going on?
And people will.
I probably did it when I came on.
And you over here clicking on stuff.
You guys know I do. I mess up clicking every day. All I did was add myself to the stage, and of course, it messed everything up. Hi, y'all. Good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
You can always count on me to mess something up in the background.
And if you need some in-person help with the CalAssist Mortgage Fund grant, you can actually go to either the One Stop Rebuilding Center at 1828 Sawtell Boulevard in LA, or go to Altadena Community Center at 730 East Altadena Drive in Altadena. That's available 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Why is she making all that noise?
I don't hear anything.
Oh, I hear it over here. My dog is going crazy. So the LaundryTruckLA.com still has some great laundry services, free mobile laundry services it's providing. The next one will be tomorrow. It'll be at South Pasadena, San Marino YMCA, located at 1605 Garfield Avenue in South Pasadena. The laundry drop-off hours are from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. There'll be another one on Sunday at First AME Church at 1700 North Raymond Avenue in Pasadena. That drop-off is the same from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So you bring your dirty laundry for them to wash, dry, and fold. And when you return in a couple of hours, you have those clean clothes you can walk away with. It's a great service. The folks at Home of King and Queens have events. This is their event schedule for October. So every Wednesday, they have Come Get Some grocery free grocery pop-up market. The next one will be on the 15th. It's going to be located at 735 East Altadena Drive in Altadena from 12 to 2 p.m. They also have a wellness event that's happening, the next one on the 19th. That is a Sunday. It's free health screening resources and family fun activities from 12 to 2. This particular one will be located at 2560 North Fair Oaks Avenue in Altadena. For those that don't know, that's world famous Fair Oaks Burger. And they also will be having a healing and recovery event on the 27th of October, which is a Monday. There'll be bingo and burgers, family fun, and resources from 3 to 5 p.m. also at Fair Oaks Burger, 2560 North Fair Oaks Avenue in Altadena. If you want more information, you can reach out via email to homekings13@gmail.com. So Friday, which is today, October 10th, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Red Hen Press, you can see the photo log called Altadena to Sweden. It's provided by Alfred Haymond, who's the photographer. The location of Red Hen Press is 1540 Lincoln Avenue in Pasadena. And there is an upcoming workshop, a tenant organizing 101, which will be tomorrow, beginning at 12:30 p.m. at the Flint Ridge Center, room 117. This located at 236 West Mountain Street in Pasadena. Come learn about tenant issues and how to start a tenants association with your neighbors. Lunch and Spanish interpretation will be provided. The link to RSVP is bit.ly/3, capital K, lowercase m as in Mary, capital P as in Paul, lowercase f as in Frank, capital Y as in yellow, and lowercase w. So there's a new and updated soil remediation for the LA Fires free Zoom class. This will actually be taking place next Thursday, October 16th at 7 p.m. To sign up, you want to go to growrealorganic.com. And if you're interested in running for Altadena Town Council, you can do so by scanning the QR code or going to altadenatowncouncil.org. And what you do in terms of applying is you submit your application plus a $35 fee. They do also want you to include a one-page statement of qualifications, and the deadline for this application is the 17th. So it's next Friday at 5 p.m. And hopefully Tony runs. The Black Legacy Voice echoes our truth, our lens, our legacy, our story, Pasadena, Altadena community. It's an exhibition of memory, resilience, and community care located at the Bob Lucas Memorial Library, which is at 2659 Lincoln Avenue in Altadena. The exhibition dates will begin this Sunday, October 12th, and run through the end of the month, 31st. And they will have an opening reception this Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. Eaton fire victims are invited to a Rebuild LA Resource Fair put on by the Building Industry Association of Southern California and Builders for Better Communities Foundation. Planning your rebuild, their experts can answer your questions about materials, services, and next steps. If you want to register, please go to biasc.org/events. All wildfire victims are welcome, and admission is free for those who did actually lose their homes. Let me go to this particular one. Keep doing that. I know I do this every time. I need to open this flyer before so I can see the numbers.
I'm just laughing because it sounds like you need some coffee or something.
Really?
Yeah, okay, today we're...
Huh.
All right.
Interesting. I didn't know it sounded quite like that.
It's not your normal jovial self.
No, I feel just as fine. So the two people you can reach out to if you want more information about the Rebuild LA Resource Fair are Melissa Otten. You can reach her via email at melissa@org homeaidocla.org, or Patrice Quisenberry at patriceq@williamsrebuild.com. And then, of course, we have our event, which is the Altadena Talks Foundation's A Day of Thanks Community Luncheon. Let me put that other QR code up there. It takes place on Saturday, November 22nd, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Loma Alta Park Gym. It's located at 3330 North Lincoln Avenue in Altadena. As we've regularly indicated, please scan the QR code either on this flyer or in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. And if you'd like, you can go to the website, if you can't scan right now, of altadenatalks.org/ATF meal sign up. That'll actually get you there. And we do look forward to having you join. We do, again, have a capacity of 1,000 individuals. So once we hit that number, we're going to stop the registration. So please go ahead and jump on that and register as soon as possible. And I'll bring you guys back in here. All right. So I'm done. I thought my lack of jovialness was not that case, but I guess so.
No, you were reading kind of slow. You're like, okay, yeah.
I was trying to be clearer.
Bueller, anyone? Bueller?
Exactly.
So, as you all know, we share this podcast to like over 50 different groups. So I'm going to throw this disclaimer out there. If you do not want me to share this in your group, please say so. That's all I'm asking. If you don't want me to share it right now, I'm not even sharing it to a couple of groups because I'm trying to respect the, what do I want to say? The structure or the mission statement in which those groups represent. So I will not only be not sharing in that group, but I will no longer be posting anything in these groups regardless, because I don't want to have anything misconstrued as I'm trying to steal followers. I don't need to steal followers. Pretty much everybody knows who I am right now. I don't have to steal your followers. I don't want to be seeming like I'm trying to distract from your mission or your statement. And I'm going to leave that one alone. So all you people out there watching, if you run groups and I'm sharing to you and you feel offended, please, by all means, reach out to me. Don't send somebody Paul Revere messenger snail mail through 6 different people trying to tell me, because I'll light you up. Let me have it. Tell me directly so that I get it from the horse's mouth. I don't like third party stuff. And that's my vent for today.
Paul Revere, huh?
Yeah, wasn't Paul Revere
the British are coming?
Yeah, he's running around screaming.
That's hilarious.
You know, the minute I said that, I thought of Beastie Boys. Right. That was him saying the British are coming backwards. So, Tony, how you doing today, girl? Tony got her. I got my hair wrapped up. I got my serious look on. This thing's got to be done.
My hair's not wrapped.
Well, it's okay.
It's
so men don't know what the description are. We don't pay attention. Your hair is wrapped up to me, meaning you went like this.
It's wrapped is going to be in a scarf or something like that. It's clipped up with.
Okay, clipped up. Okay, I'm gonna use your words. She got her hair all clipped up. Always trying to throw a brother out the window because he said the wrong description.
No.
Out the window.
I'm looking out the window.
No, if I threw you out the window, bruh, or under a bus.
Ah! Like how that movie was. You want to take the window or the stairs? Oh, we'll take the stairs. Toss him and was it Damon Wayans and homeboy from
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Yeah. That was funny. We'll take the stairs. All right, so what are you guys doing today? I have to go to Marshall. I got to go to Thoroughbred Marshall's reunion tonight. For 40
They're
years.
good.
Thoroughbred. I don't think any of the people coming back to the reunion even know the school name has been changed. That's a shame.
That'd be interesting.
Man, I'm gonna ask her when I get there. How many of you guys know that they changed the name of your school?
They probably know. Because I'm sure they got notified or something, like we would get notified from Muir about something. Who knows?
I don't know.
It's funny because all the official little flyers, they just say John Marshall.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they know.
The John Marshall High School Class of 1985 reunion, Friday, October 10th. I'm looking at it right now.
That's going to be the topic of conversation tonight.
Did you know your name was changed to Thoroughbred?
From John to Thurgood.
Mm-hmm. Representing. So that's what I'll be doing tonight. And what do you guys got planned? I know that Muir is playing Arcadia tonight at Arcadia. I wish I could go.
That's boring.
Yeah, so
that'll probably be a boring game.
I don't know. 60-0.
Right. As I'm like, that's boring.
They lost like 55 or more than nothing last week, and they played Burbank.
That's boring.
He is back to being bad. When my little cousin, when my nephew was here, they went to state or CIF and lost a championship. And then 2 years ago, I think it was, they were actually really good again. But then all the players left. They got rid of the coach, and they just screwed up the program.
Yeah, I think
so. Now they're back to just being good at tennis and golf and swimming and
band.
Oh yeah, their band is always.
They have major band competitions at Arcadia.
Oh, yeah, they're always phenomenal. Shoot, even at the middle school, junior high level, they're amazing. Math
competitions are good at that crap.
Oh yeah, Mirror used to be. I remember Mirror used to be good.
Well, all that stuff. When my son went there, because he wanted to go to Muir, but I was like, absolutely not. It was 2008, and no, Muir was horrible. The fights and bad, and his test scores sucked, and all that. Mr. Cash had it.
Carter went there. It wasn't that horrible.
Okay.
Mr. Cash had to do what?
He had to come back and get the school straightened out because it was falling to the wayside. They was thinking about closing it. Mm-hmm. So he went to Arcadia because I wasn't about to go through all that. He did well there. He saw the drum corps and wanted to play, and I almost shed a tear because I wish he could have followed in my
footsteps. Not at Arcadia. He wasn't in no drum corps like that.
That's not what he was. That's not.
I swear, Tony, you hear nothing of the beginning of the sentence. You hear the end part. It reminds me of somebody else. It reminds me of somebody else I talk to every day.
Did you hear me start laughing immediately? I said it and immediately start laughing because I knew what you were saying. That's why I cut in and said it and start laughing.
Yeah, Magic Johnson. What happened to that $100 million that Magic Johnson was supposed to?
Right. I saw that announcement yesterday, and I was like, whatever.
Every comment I saw that on, that's the first thing I say. What happened to that $100 million that was supposed to go to Altadena residents?
Well, on top of that $100 million, you know, I got a call early on saying, hey, you're a veteran and your dad's a Black veteran, you know, Altadena, you guys lost the house, yada, yada, yada. Magic Johnson, he doesn't really want his name in it, but Magic Johnson has partnered up. It was like 6 guys. This Army colonel named Arnold called me. And he said, there's a group of some guy who's a retired from Parliament in the Bahamas, Magic. There were like 4 different names he gave me. And he said they're looking for Black veterans in Altadena because they want to make sure they have all the money they need individually to, if there's a gap or whatever, to rebuild. I was like, okay. I gave Edub the information. He sent me all this stuff I had to send to the man. I gave him my information. That guy, Moshan Moore, I think I contacted or we spoke, but I never got his information. But there were probably at least four families that I get. Sean Waters, his dad, there were 4 or 5. Anyway, I've been following up because I'm like, you had me get all this information from people. What's up? And I asked about a month ago, and the Colonel Arnold was like, well, there were some issues with how they can give it out or not or whatever. And they're still meeting and planning. And I was like,
it's been 9 months. Come on. Like, when you going to give it to them, when the houses are already built?
I was like,
4 years from now?
So for me,
and what if you hadn't reached out to get an update?
Well, to hear that he's like the Grand Marshal, I was like, no, I keep reaching out. I reach out once a month.
I know, but my point is, had you not reached out, when would you have gotten an update? That's just like
never, because every month is something else. And
horrible.
then I'll call Arnold, and he was like, just call me. You don't have to call me Colonel. You go around. I'm like, okay, whatever. But nothing. And then it's interesting. I went to that thing last night. That guy Nathaniel Mack. He's gonna come on the show Tuesday. But I went to that dinner last night, and it was interesting. It was a lot of people ate and left, and so
that's usually what happens.
Yeah, it was like
serve the dinner after the thing.
Yeah, I got set at a table, and a couple of people were like, "Finish eating." They were like, "Okay, we're out." As people were talking. I did like, however, that as they brought people up, they only spoke for a couple minutes. It wasn't like no long drug out thing, right? Mm-hmm. Chris Holden spoke briefly. Erin Brockovich got up there, had something to say, but she even said, I'm going to speak briefly, because nobody has time to just sit and listen to blah, blah, blah.
It's been 9 months, and we've already heard the
right.
skills.
And then the one attorney was acting like a salesman. The dude from Texas. He was definitely the salesman who got up there. And this is why you should go with LA Fire Justice and, all this stuff, right?
I got a video of that from when I...
And a lot of people were like just talking to one another at the tables during his time, right? But he was a salesman. Barbara Boxer was there because her son is one of the attorneys. And so she got up there and spoke. I went up to her afterwards because my aunt had called me. And I told her I was at this event, I'd call her back. And so I went up to her, not afterwards, but right before I got up and left, which was when the second, I think, to the last person was speaking. And I said, hey, because they used to serve together. And I said, hey, Senator Boxer, I just wanted to let you know, I was just speaking with my aunt. I told her I'd call her back. I was at this event. But I told her that you had just spoken, and she was all ecstatic, like, oh, that's my friend. Please tell her how to. So when I told Senator Boxer, she was like, oh, Diane's your aunt. Oh, my God, that's my buddy. Please tell her I said hi and send her love. So they both reacted the same way, right? Because they served on the Hill together. Her son got up and spoke, Doug, and his was relatively brief, too. He honored, I think, his parents, because Barbara honored her husband, Stuart, and, her son and all this. So that was cool. But the one guy who was like the salesman, he said, yeah, I cooked all these 650 meals for you today. Ha, 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 round of laughs or whatever. But it was, I'll say it was interesting because I hadn't been to any yet, and it was considered a client appreciation dinner. But Nathaniel, we had spoken yesterday about him coming on the show next week, and because we keep running into each other and keep saying, oh, we're going to connect. Oh, I got to bring you on. Oh, I want to come on. And so finally we had a phone call yesterday. And he said, Tony, why don't you come to the thing tonight? And I was like, what? He said, our client appreciation dinner. I said, I'm not a client. And he was like, yeah, but you're doing so much in the community. Like, come anyway. So this is my recap. It seemed like a good event. Obviously, people were happy they paid for people's parking, apparently, as well, because when you got ready to leave, you could scan a QR code that would pay for the parking, I believe. And I think they had T-shirts that had LA Fire Justice logo on it. They were green, that they were giving away at the end. I guess people were walking. I walked by because I wasn't, doing that. And again, I'm not a client. But they did have, I would say, good general information. But again, it's from the perspective of attorneys that want you to be their client, right? So it's like a chart that says with the settlement, without the settlement, or with just doing a claim. And they spoke about the Edison offer or whatever. And so I think for people that maybe had absolutely no insight about, potential claims, because they said, I know the one guy that I forget his name, but the Texas attorney was saying that what Edison is proposing to give to people through this claim process is 40% of what an attorney could get you.
We get them. Okay.
Right. So for anybody that's questioning, that's obviously good. Now, let me tell you, when Chris Holden spoke at the very end, he got a standing ovation. And it is because this particular firm, LA Fire Justice, has been telling all their clients or potential clients that they would be taking 33.33% of any proceeds that, you know, they get from a settlement, like going through them and they get them a settlement.
Mm-hmm.
So he announced last night, and I think this is my, again, anybody watching, don't get offended. This is Tony Bailey Raines' interpretation of why they may have done this. You know, there's a ton of attorneys. There's a ton of attorneys, right? And everybody's like fighting for business, because at the end of the day, these attorneys are coming in, they want to make money, whether it's by representing you or whatever. So their job is to represent you, and so they can make some money too. So he mentioned that the firm had made a decision that the rate now will be reduced from 33.33% to 25% of anything that you get from.
Nice. I mean, the sheer volume, they're going to make tons of money. I mean,
that's what I said. I said they're going to make billions anyway. Because if they get people millions back or whatever, they're going to make millions or billions anyway. So that's good. He did announce that. And I mean, people stood up, roaring applause. Yay, yay, yay. So it makes sense, I guess, if there's hundreds of attorneys trying to get your business and everybody's at that 30%, some are at 40, some are 33.33 or 35, to go low and say, oh, we're going to cut it down from 33.33 to 25. So Chris Holden did say that, and it was a good applause, as it should be, because they're going to make tons of money. Not necessarily, I'm not speaking against LA Fire Justice. I'm saying as a whole, any attorney that is representing a ton of people, hundreds of people, maybe thousands, right? They're going to make their money. So I thought it was good that they said that, definitely. And really good that they showed the comparison chart of the things that they will do and how they will represent you versus if you just do the claim. All the things that just because you're a layman and you're not an attorney, you may not even know that, oh, we should be also tackling this. We should be tackling this. And one of the examples was, I didn't take a picture of it, but just recalling in my head, it was a chart that had like the Edison comp plan is saying $100,000 per adult and $50,000 per child, right? And renters only, I think, $50,000 or something. And no mental anguish, trauma, pain, and suffering, technically, as a different bucket, where the attorneys will go after each and every one. And I know that somebody recently had posted on, I think, the Beautiful Altadena page, something about how much these attorneys were able to get when PG&E, who was bankrupt at the time, settled from that fire because they went through attorneys. PG&E did a comp plan that was way above, I believe, what Edison is offering, but PG&E at the time was bankrupt, had filed for bankruptcy, and they still had a much better comp plan and, you know, settled with people. So a lot of people are going to these meetings still with Edison, and people are still leaving disgusted because I guess each time they meet, 4 meetings, do some iteration, come back and say, oh, we listened to your input, your feedback, we're going to do this.
Man, we upped it $1.
Yeah, ridiculous. But the renter stuff went down. And so the fact is, the attorneys were highlighting what it is that they could do for you as an attorney, right? Because if there were 650 meals prepared, not every seat was full. There were some vacant seats last night. And some of those people are actual clients already, and some are not. So they've invited people. We're saying, hey, we appreciate you. If they get 650 clients, 1,000 clients out of, you know, all the homes that were burned or whatever, that bodes well for them. So if you get invited in the future, because I know they've had one of these before, they do lunches. Oh, they also showed a slide of everything that they're doing. There's a community engagement manager, and she got up there and she showed a slide of everything they do, like weekly. And to myself, it was a little overwhelming because it's like, my goodness, they got to not only keep track of it internally, but all the people. I think still there's so much happening that it could be a bit overwhelming at times. And they have like something every Monday, coffee chats on this day, something, I mean, literally almost every day of the week, and workshops here. Huh?
Like us, except we don't plan them, we go to them.
Yeah. But when I looked at the slide, I was like, oh my goodness, that's a lot of stuff. That was my brain, right? Just because of all the things that we see here daily anyway that are happening all over the community, which is not something negative. It's good that the resources and everything are there because they've got like a mental health thing, the coffee chats. And she explained that that's where people get together for coffee and just talk through some of their feelings and their emotions and, you know, where they are in their process with insurance or with rebuilds. And so she briefly touched on all of them, which was really good because if you didn't know that these resources are available, they are. For me personally, because all the stuff we're already doing, I was like, whew, that's a lot, you know, and it just seemed overwhelming to me just to see on one slide.
Looking at Instagram every day on the Altadena Talks account, there's like 50 flyers every day. And we have to pick and choose which ones because some of this stuff happens in LA, some of it happens over in Glendale, some of it happens in Monrovia. And we try to look for the ones that are, focused on helping Altadena. But some of those ones that are out of the city are helping Altadena. So now we have to go through.
Yeah, a lot of people live in Monrovia. A lot of people are in Glendale. Some are in LA. So it's probably good to do everything because
they're in those areas, so that could be something that they could go to.
Exactly.
That's closer
Instead
to
of coming
them.
into Pasadena or Altadena. Yeah. Because if anybody knows, the 210 now is just like the 405 going through Mulholland and all of that.
Both ways,
almost around the clock. I take the streets as much as possible because I can get around in the cut and don't have to get on that joker. But even like on my way to church on Sundays or home, I'll be like, I'm going to take the streets because this is ridiculous. Or I get in the carpool lane. Or I get in the carpool lane because I feel like as an EV, I should be able to ride in the carpool lane. But I'm super careful when I get in it and make sure I don't see no CHP, even in their new
Durangos.
Right, in their new incognito, because I'm like, I don't have that carpool sticker, right? Plus, they're doing away with them. But I'm like, I drive an EV. You know how EV drivers act like we're all special. I drive an EV. I should be able to get in the carpool lane.
I ain't gonna say nothing, but my windows are so dark that I'm in the carpool lane all the time.
And you just said it, talking about I ain't gonna say nothing. But that's only when it's horrendous traffic. But I'll get off.
Right, or I gotta really be somewhere and then I'll jump in it. But
yeah. But anyway, so I did go to that event last night. I also, prior to that event, and I left Brennan Lamar and this guy named Hajar Yalikian something. We're up there speaking. That's when I went to say hi to Barbara Boxer and tell her I said hi and sent love. And then I left. But they were talking about a new project. So I don't have all of the details on that. Sorry about that, you all. But the program was a good program. I do have to say that. It wasn't one of these programs that you sit through and you're like, can they be finished, right? And they kept
that's most of them.
Right. Like a lot of times you just be like, oh my gosh, right?
Are you done?
They kept it light. The young lady who did the emceeing was great. She said she's worked with Chris for about 3 or so years. Everybody kept calling him Mr. Holden, Mr. Holden. I walked up to him. I was like, hey, Chris, how you doing? And so I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot. Because he also, his dad, Nate just passed not long ago. And him and my aunt were very good friends. And remember, Brian, when we talked to him on Juneteenth and we were talking about that. And so every time I see him, I'm like, hey, Chris, how you doing? But everybody was like, hi, Mr. Holden. Hi, Mr. Holden. And I was like, I'm so not a formal person. I almost said, hi, Barbara, to Barbara Boxer. And then I was like, I guess I could say hi, Senator Boxer or whatever, even though it's, former or retired or whatever she is. So anyway, but it was a good program. I will say that. It wasn't boring. It wasn't where everybody got up there and spoke for, I almost felt like, how they say at the funerals, you got 2 minutes and sit down.
Right.
Like they told them that, because I don't know that there was anyone other than that one attorney from Texas that spoke more than 2 minutes, to maybe 3 max. So really good program as far as that goes. And I thought it was very insightful and gave some good information. So, and then the one guy from Texas was saying, if any of this basically resonates with you, call us tomorrow. That's the part where he was like a salesman. You need to call LA Fire Justice tomorrow.
We'll fight for you.
Right. Don't hesitate. Remind me of those kind of commercials. Other than that, like I said,
was that Larry H. Parker? I'll fight for you.
He got a little bit of salesmanish, but it was good. I don't remember much about what Erin Brockovich spoke about, other than what she sees in Altadena as far as the unity and the strength of Altadena. And I think she said something about she really believes that because we have the unity we have and we're so strong that we'll be fine on our rebuild. But she is making sure as an activist that we get what's right. You know what I mean? And so because she's been doing this for so long, right? So yeah, nothing. Who's self-snitching?
That was me talking about being in the carpool lane by myself.
Totally telling on yourself, right?
And I know my car to bus me.
I just do it because I'm in an EV and I feel like I should be able to, because I'm saving on pollutants or whatever. But
I feel like I've been a driver for 40 years. So
you have, we all have.
They should allow it. If you're over 40 years driving, feel free.
And you're so correct, Marcus. We did see this. I think Jamal had already popped it up, but it is good for there to be events in other places and us to actually bring them on and talk about them, not only focus on what's happening in Altadena or Pasadena, but in the other cities, because so many people aren't here. They're displaced and have to travel in. And then there was something I went to prior to the LA Fire dinner, client appreciation dinner, over at the Jackie Robinson Center. Brandon Lamar, along with the Secretary of State's office or LA Vote or something. Maybe it was our LA County voting people, had the community room with some people in it that were making sure that people vote and know about Prop 50 and know about our election that's coming up on the 4th. So I saw Sharon and I asked her, I said, did you already get your ballot and mail it in or drop it off? She was like, no, I haven't gotten anything. And I said, oh, that's because you never changed your mailing address. So again, I think I talked about this in the beginning in March, after I got on the Secretary of State's Zoom call. If no election mail will ever be forwarded. So in order, if you're in Altadena, have Altadena address that burned down, in order to get that mail, that's totally separate from the forward that you may have from the post office. You have to go into that's the county assessors. You have to go into the Secretary of State or go on lavote.org or whatever, where your account is, and change your mailing address only, not your physical address. However, what the Secretary of State said in March on that call is, even if you don't, and your ballot and everything goes back, Los Angeles is a VAC, which means a voting access county. And because I asked questions in the chat and she answered it. And she said, no, Antoinette, Los Angeles County is a VAC, voting access county. And if someone does not change their mailing address, they still can vote. They can walk up. It won't be a provisional vote because we are a VAC. You walk into any precinct. It doesn't have to be in Altadena or Pasadena. It could be if you're in LA, you go there. If you're in Burbank, you go there. As long as you're within LA County, which you guys know is huge, goes all the way up to Kern County, San Bernardino, Riverside County, San Diego County is huge. You can go anywhere in LA County and vote on November 4th and cast your ballot, and it will be accepted because we are a VAC, a voting access county. And to boot, you can say, hey, I lost my home in the fire in Altadena and I didn't re-register, so I never got anything, right? You can also go online at any time to the Secretary of State's website, change your mailing address only so that your mail goes to you when it comes to voting mail, because that will never be forwarded. So I told Sharon that last night, and she said, "Oh, the ladies over there just told me that I can go online and change my mailing address to get my ballot." I said, "And they didn't tell you we're voting access county, you can go everywhere?" She said, "No." I said, "Well, I'm letting you know you can do that too." So that's just for anybody in case they're not aware.
You should have went and schooled the people that was telling her the wrong information.
Yeah, they work for. Yeah, that wasn't my job. They should know that information, but I told her. And so anybody on here, again, either you have an option to go in and change. I think you go to, it's not the assessors. What is that other one down in Norwalk? The
Clark County Registrar.
Yeah, I think, or vote.la or
well,
something.
LA Vote is Clark County Registrar. You can either go to one in Norwalk, there's one in Imperial and La Cienega.
No, I mean just go online. Just go online.
Oh yeah, LA Vote. I think
LA Vote or the Secretary of State. Find your stuff. Change your mailing address only for your voting mail, or just go on November 4th. Cast your yes vote on 50.
Yes, lavote.gov.
Right. Okay, that's what it is. lavote.gov. Thank you. Or just go in on the 4th, since we are a VAC, a voting access county, and you do not have to have any of your ballot stuff with you. You do not have to go to the one by your home.
In fact, as soon as you pop it up, let me show you this on the screen. As soon as you pop it up, it tells you to where you can go to find your information.
Cool. So I did go to that event first before going down to the convention center for the dinner, and Brandon had people there, and he was speaking about that. The AKAs were there, some links were there, because it's very, very important that we vote. We see consequences of not voting, not registering to vote, not showing up. We're living through some of those consequences with this second administration that's in office right now. And everybody can get hurt when the wrong people get in. So, and for anybody who doesn't understand what Prop 50 is, there's check your registration status, register to vote, vote by mail, all that's in there. Track your ballot. So if you were to go to track your ballot and you put in your home address or something like that, it's probably going to tell you it was returned. Because I've had mine, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks now, a couple of weeks. I've had the information leading up to it, and I've had my ballot. So I'll probably.
Yeah, so all they ask for is your name, first name, last name, birth, date of birth, and your zip code.
Okay.
And then that should give you where you can find your information.
Yep. But definitely go, because we have a very important election on November 4th on Prop 50, State Measure 50. A lot of people don't understand it, and they're upset that, you're trying to steal votes or whatever. Actually, we're not. Prop 50.
Trying to prevent theft.
And the reason that it is called State Measure 50 or Prop 50 is it represents all 50 states, because we know that Texas recently did some gerrymandering that is in the court right now, their plan. But they're trying to steal seats like from Jasmine Crockett, because she is a congresswoman that they definitely don't like. She's holding them to the fire, right? And so for 2026, these midterm elections, there are over 400 seats in the House and the Senate that are up for grabs. Obviously, you guys know I love politics because I know all the deets, right? But,
The deets.
Yeah, I'm a political nerd, low key. I really am, just because I know how important it is. So when Texas did theirs, they potentially will have 5 additional seats. Their governor, Greg Abbott, was called and told by Trump, I need 5 congressional seats, just like he did after the election previously in Georgia, and asked that the governor give him 11,800 or whatever, and it didn't happen. So instead, this governor in Texas said, okay, yeah, and has had his legislator go on with redistricting. Here in California, we have an independent commission that draws up our seats, our lines for our districts. And so instead of our governor as a response saying, oh, we're going to redistrict because we are a blue state, a Democratic state, right? It would have been easy to do that, but he's following the law. And instead of just doing it like they did in Texas, we put a special election for Prop 50 on the ballot. So when you go and you vote on the 4th, if you vote yes for Prop 50, then we're going to redistrict and potentially have no Republican seats or a lot less than we have. However, if you say no, it's not right, the independent commission should do it, and you probably see a lot of TV ads that are big Republican donors going against Prop 50, then we won't. I venture to say that Prop 50 will most likely pass, and then we can redistrict, because we need democracy to win, period. And if other states and red states decide they want to take seats that belong to Democratic areas or areas that minorities have representation, Black, Latino, others that have their representation, essentially what they have done is taken the people's voice and said, your voice doesn't matter because we want this to be Republican. We want it to be represented by Republican. We want it to be red. We're going to follow what this president wants, period. So that's what all this redistricting is about, if you weren't fully aware. So please make sure you're voting here in California on November 4th on Prop 50. Whichever way you choose to vote, yes or no, it's important that your voice is heard, because then that matters for your representation. So that's all what it's about. And that's why you've got to get out there or go on the 4th or go online. And even if your home burned down, and re-register for your stuff to be sent. I don't know if it's too late to be sent now. And even if it is, I gave a quick synopsis of what Prop 50 is, but go online, just Google California Prop 50, CA Prop 50, and you could read the pros and the cons and everything for yourself. But that's really what it's about. So midterms next year, 2026, will determine our country's future, because we see every day they're trying to systematically dismantle our democracy. And if they pick up more seats in the House or the Senate, then we're going to see more things dismantled. Just like the representative who was voted in a couple weeks ago in Arizona, Grijalva, her father passed away. She ran for the seat. She won it outright. The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, won't swear her in. She's in Washington ready to work. Been there almost 2 weeks. He won't swear her in. He won't call a government session back, even though there's a shutdown, to swear her in. And his prior precedence is immediately within a day or two after someone had a special election and won their seat, he swore them in. She's back there, and every time, even she was there because it happened right before the shutdown. But the reason that they won't swear her in is because she has said she will vote for releasing the Epstein files. She will be the 218th signature, which will force a vote on them releasing the files. So guess what? If she's not sworn in, she can't sign. And she's not the 218th vote, which is what they need. So very, very important that we vote, that our voices are heard, that we are represented by the people that we put in office. And that's that. So that's just a tiny bit of another civics lesson, like we did. What is a bill, and how do you go back and forth, different appropriations committees and all that. But yeah, so that's important. Make sure you all handle your business and change your mailing addresses or whatever, and go and vote on the 4th, because there are lots of people that died so that you could vote. There are lots of people that fought in the military so that you can have the rights that you have, that they're systematically trying to dismantle and take away from us as Americans every single day.
It's almost like an oxymoron. It's like we're fighting, the military fought for freedoms, but the same government that pays the people to fight is blocking the people to vote, or blocking the people to be able to, do what they need to do.
They always talk about, they're pro-law enforcement, pro-military, this and that, and they're not, because they're dismantling a lot of that as well. However, they're only pro-military if it's military that is like the Gestapo, right? That wants to bring harm to people, not really protect and serve. But the military, if there is not, and it doesn't have to be this CR, this clean resolution, because the Democrats are staying strong, and some independents saying we're not going to cave, because all they're asking for is the Affordable Care Act. That's the actual name of it. But the Republicans and those that are MAGA and all of that titled it Obamacare because it was in the time when President Obama was in office and he stood behind it and wound up signing it into law. So because it was Obamacare, a black man, which they could not stand and are still mad that we've had a black president, they made sure, and he wasn't really the first because anyway, we're not going all the way back into history.
I already know.
I know. But anyway.
We don't want to cause no problems. Do your own research.
Exactly. Because if you know anything about history and politics, you'll know that he was not our first black president. Anywho, so what happened was they're so mad and still are that the Republicans now are willing to let those tax credits expire in December for the ACA. And when that happens, that's why the government is shut down over this fight. Democrats are like, no, we can't afford that. You can't afford it. Millions will have their premiums. Millions will be kicked off. Millions will have their premiums more than double. So let's say you're paying $600 a month in premiums for your insurance. It's going to double to $1,200. If people's gas prices are high, I passed a gas station yesterday and my little car, I take premium, right? I looked and it was $5.60 a gallon. I was like, what in all the heck is going on? Because I don't buy gas, right? In my EV, I haven't in a year and a half. So I was like, oh my God, that's so ridiculous. But the fact is, gas prices have not gone down. Grocery prices are still very high. Inflation is crazy. We're borderline. One pinky toe is in for recession. The other one is out. And so if we don't have that, then people's medical premiums, they're going to have to cancel and have no insurance. They're not going to be able to afford any prescriptions. This one veteran's wife literally confronted Mike Johnson yesterday or day before on she called in the radio, but he was with a news anchor and said, my husband is active duty, not a veteran. He's still active, but has severe PTSD from his 2 tours in Afghanistan. And we have 2 children who are, what does she call them? Medically fragile. That's how she phrased it. And they literally take medication in order to survive and live every day. She said, shame on you. I'm a Republican in Northern Virginia. Shame on you and my party. I'm deeply disappointed in my party and you because you have the power to extend these tax credits, call a session so we can extend them, right? Because if not, I can't get medication for my kids. And because of the bills that we have to pay medically, we don't have the credit to go get loans to live off of. And we're military. And, you know, military lives paycheck to paycheck, y'all. If you did not know, they are some of the lowest paid folks anywhere. And if he doesn't at least extend so that they can get paychecks as of the 15th, which is what, Wednesday, military's not getting paid. Literally in 5 days, our military, Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, Space Force, Coast Guard will not get a paycheck on the 15th because of the government shutdown.
I just saw a post on Navy Federal's site of all of the people who, you know, most of the people that are in the military are in Navy Federal. They have the biggest non-profit.
And then Navy
Federal. Well, they must have just surpassed them because they had the most assets.
Well, one's a credit union because I have both. So USAA is a bank and it's only for the military, and Navy Federal's military, but you can sponsor people in.
Yeah.
But they're a credit union, and I have both. Those are both my financial institutions.
Yeah. So they were asking, did you get they're supposed to give loans out during this time. It's not really an advanced paycheck. So people, right. I'm reading these comments and like, you mean to tell me you're giving me a loan and it's not my money? You can't get it back
right.
from the government when they give it back? That's so dumb.
Right.
But
right.
hey, you got to keep people going. That's why you got people joining your credit union, your banks, because if they don't step up, I mean, they're not going to get any deposits.
Right. Well, so, I've gotten that email and I've gotten one from USAA because they send it to all members. Mm-hmm. And yes, it is a loan, and they always say hopefully a short-term loan, and they'll do it with barely any interest. They won't do it with the exact rates that are there because then you'll never catch up. Mm-hmm. But it's a disgrace for anyone who is serving that they may not get a paycheck because they're also bound by the UCMJ and they can't really say nothing because they could get put out. All this, and they're scrubbing social medias every day for military people. It's just insanity right now. But obviously, we know elections have consequences. I saw something.
Who's getting paid to do the scrubbing if they're scrubbing? I mean, where's the money coming from? It's like everybody's got to get paid. So if you're working
No.
for the government.
Pentagon, HealthSec, and all of them, they have people dedicated to scrub social media to make sure military aren't posting things that they don't like.
How are they still working if they ain't getting paid? Is it just an obligation?
So, all of these cuts that Doge went in and did, they stole money from other segments, whether it was USAID or whatever, to hire all these people that a lot of them are probably these protesters that he pardoned to do these ICE raids. A lot of the money has been transferred to be able to fund the ICE raids and what Hegseth wants and all of them. So they're always going to make sure that money's available, regardless, because these people aren't true federal employees. They haven't gone through the process, because I can guarantee you, I've been a federal employee. I'm a veteran. You do background checks that last about a year. These people were instantly, we're deputized, whatever. It's all an illegal process that they've done, but it is an absolute disgrace as a veteran and having a nephew who's in the Air Force and people I know, their kids. Like, this is such a clown car circus right now, and elections have consequences. So it is so important that you do your research, that you know who you're voting in office, what they truly stand for. And look, Marjorie Taylor Greene, everybody knows her name and who she is, right? All of a sudden, Marjorie is talking about, it's a disgrace. This shutdown is totally on the Republicans. We own the House, Senate, and the White House, which we know and Democrats have been saying, right? And they want this clean CR, but my own adult children, it's like she's clutching her pearls, will have double the insurance premiums if they don't extend these credits. This is literally what she is saying, not only on social media, but on national news channels where she's being interviewed, right? And everybody is like, don't trust that hag. She's up for re-election. So she's just saying it because
but you know what? It needed to be said.
It has to be said because she's like, I'm kind of leaning the opposite way of my party right now. I'm disgusted in them because we should just get this done. But again, what is her real end game? She knows all them people that she has voting for her. You are a Republican and you stand with all this foolishness and you're up for re-election, so you may not be elected, right? So of course she's going to try to save her seat. But I'm glad she's at least telling the truth, because it does fall on them, not on the Democrats. Democrats are standing strong, trying to make sure that 13 million plus people still have these tax credits and their insurance. And so again, I'll get off my political thing because I can go on and on and on for hours.
They got WWJD, what would Jesus do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in this case, what would Jasmine do? In this particular case,
Hakeem Jeffries got into a whole shouting match with some attorney yesterday in the hall, and it was hilarious because he was like, I'm gonna tell you what we say in Brooklyn. He was like, and then later he posted something on Threads, I believe, that said, don't come for me unless I send for you. I was like, oh God. Hakeem and Jasmine and all them getting ready to have everybody like, see the ebonics that they use and all the foolishness. But
the problem is that majority of these Congress people have they're not in touch with their own constituents. They don't know how to talk to them.
Yeah.
So if you want to deal with Asians, learn about the Asian culture. If you want to deal with Hispanics, learn about the Hispanic culture. If you want to deal with blacks, learn the black culture. Everything has already been white culture.
But
so
they don't
we
want
know
to
your culture.
They're trying to erase all of that.
But the problem is all these
white
in about 20 years, you won't know who is white, black, Mexican, or nothing.
Nope. Well, that's
because
why they say
everyone's interracial now.
Yeah, but that's why they say you can't replace us. And I believe this is their absolute last ditch effort between them saying you can't replace us, between the whole Turning Point USA. All because how stupid is it that now Turning Point USA has said that they're going to have a big event to rival Bad Bunny being at the Super Bowl halftime. Like they're going to hire some venue and have a big party for rednecks.
And guess what? It's going to look just like his birthday celebration with the military, and 200 people showed up.
Right. And so I'm just like, what is wrong with these people?
You spend all that money to have this show of arms like you was Japan or Russia or China or somewhere.
With squeaky wheel tank. And none
people
of
the
that
people
know how to
military, right? They sloppy down there and like, yeah, man, we broke. Yeah, I can't wait for this to be over.
That was hilarious. But anyway, so yeah, that's what Prop 50 is. That's what it is about your mailing or your or voting. And make sure you do the needful and get yourself out to vote so that you can hopefully preserve and protect some of the rights that those who have served or died for have afforded you. Don't take that for granted, and become civically engaged and involved. Run for office if you need to, or show up at meetings and be good trouble. Like John Lewis said, let's make good trouble. But let me tell you who I absolutely love right now and think they are just some gangsters. J.B. Pritzker and Brandon, what's the mayor of Chicago's name again? And they'll be at that event with us on the 4th because he's one of the honorees.
They're focusing on Memphis now, even though they're invading, and I'm saying it like that, invading Illinois. Now,
right.
They want them in Memphis. They need to be in Memphis.
Yeah.
That's the murder capital of the world.
Yeah, but Brandon Johnson, when I tell you they got people marching and not a thing is going on, they're not calling police to line up and stop the marchers. But he did this pact now that it's called Ice-Free Zones. And he announced it yesterday. And he literally, all through any city property, that's city-owned property, including parks, public spaces, all that, ICE is unwelcomed and cannot go. They cannot go in to ask to use the restroom. And then he's telling business leaders, because a bunch of restaurants, when ICE would come in, would say, nope, get out. They're not feeding them. They're not allowing them to order food. And they definitely are not allowing them to come use the restroom or anything. So now, like, the city has really band together. And, if you trying to go and raid and you have something to drink or whatever, and you got to go use the restroom and you can't. And I love what Chicago is doing right now in Illinois. And I think, I really believe the ticket for 2028 is going to be J.B. Pritzker and Gavin Newsom. Because those are the two governors that are standing up to all the shenanigans and they don't care. They're just he did a whole skit for Jimmy Kimmel last night where he had on this tactical vest, like a bulletproof vest, the J.B. Pritzker. And he was out in Chicago like, this is you can look it up on social media, but he was talking about, in war-ravaged Chicago or da-da-da-da-da. And it was hilarious. And so they're just trolling this administration between him and Gavin Newsom's press office. They are troll masters because they got these young 30-year-olds in there doing all the media stuff.
Killing the game.
Yeah, they are killing it. So if you guys don't follow either Brandon Johnson or J.B. Pritzker or Gavin Newsom, if you want some good laughs at some of the stuff that they're doing, go in.
Well, the funny thing is people are taking Gavin Newsom and putting him with his shirt off with the ladies. Talking about it's
they
so
love
funny.
him. They love him. I have some
But
friends.
it's not him. It's just people are making AI stuff about it.
I know, but they love him anyway. I have a girlfriend, a couple of them in Maryland, DC area, and every time I talk to them, they're like, "Oh, your governor is so fine," and I just go, "Oh God," and I'm just like,
it's the same way they thought of John F. Kennedy back in the day.
Right, they were like, "Oh, he's so fine in that voice of his," and I'm like, "He's gangster."
Ever seen? And watch
Yeah, I'm like, "He's gangster. We like our governor," and they're like, "I wish he was our governor," and I'm like, "Y'all got Wes Moore. He right on in there too." Like, these are all the really. Oh yes, watch it.
Very special report filed by J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois. This is J.B. Pritzker reporting from war-torn Chicago. As you can see, there's utter mayhem and chaos on the ground. It's quite disturbing. The Milwaukee Brewers have come in to attack our Chicago Cubs. We've seen people being forced to eat hot dogs with ketchup on them. And our deep dish pizza, well, has gone shallow. So it's a challenge to survive here in the city of Chicago, but there's no hellscape that I'd rather be in. Well, thank you, Governor.
That's funny.
It was. I was like, yes, they are trolling.
I'm going to have to do that. We're standing here.
And then there was something I saw on social media too on Threads where Christy Noem was in Chicago with some of these ICE people or DHS people getting ready to go in this restaurant. And this brother does like this and holds the doors. He's like, no, get away. He's hollering through the window at them, right? F you, get away, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, well, okay. And turns around and they all walk and leave, right? Because I think they said we need to use the restroom or he was like, no. But literally private businesses, public, state on city.
I will let you in mine with cameras. I'll say you got to take your mask off, though. We need to stop.
They're not going to do it.
Exactly. So feel free to come in, but your mask has to come off. Remember, we have the reverse pandemic. Mask off.
I love how they're attacking it. And when ICE first got there, they called out all the salt trucks, 1,000 salt trucks. And they covered all the areas of Chicago where ICE couldn't get into. They blocked all the roads. This was 2-3 weeks ago. And I was like, Chicago, they are brilliant because their mayor dispatched all the salt trucks, was like, you're going to get paid overtime or whatever, and had them fully go all around the perimeter and block the city.
That's like that scene from Warriors. Warriors.
I love it. Anyway, but again, you guys.
We're like Saturday Night Live. We do little parodies here and there. That's gonna be one of those ones. Jamal, you frozen?
No. Oh, is he right now?
I'm not. I'm here.
You are frozen,
he's frozen
dude.
again like yesterday.
I'm
frozen.
That's funny.
It's just like yesterday's picture almost. But yeah, he it is so funny how Chicago. Well, yesterday, remember we did this? He was like, what was this hand or something? He was like, but so yeah, I love watching Mayor Brandon Johnson and Governor J.B. Pritzker because they are playing no games. Like Gavin is playing no games with this administration, and they are talking crazy.
Hey, well, I mean, when you talk crazy, you know how Michelle said, when you go low, we go high. Well, guess what? When you go low, we going lower. We respected that administration to go high. This administration, they low, we low too.
They're petty because young people are super
like people going to the moon, we going to the moon too.
They're like, oh, you want to get it? Let's get it. You want to go here? Let's go. And it's so funny to watch but they're doing the work that is required in their city and their state, right? And they're doing things ethically and by law and all this. And then they have these offices that go out and troll and watch everything on Twitter and I guess Truth Social and Threads and everything. And no sooner than something's posted, they hey, you're back. They go out and troll. Is he back?
Yeah, but he's still keeping the same look.
I know.
I think I'm here.
Okay, now you are.
I said he still got the same look.
Right, he was in the same position, like.
Right, like.
Okay, is he frozen? There, now we see a smile crack. That's a little bit.
Marcus got me. He took a picture.
Oh, did he?
And sent it to you. Only your cousin trolling you. Nothing like family. But yeah, so anyway, that's it for me. But y'all, please watch some of this stuff where they are trolling this administration.
He's looking like, when is it over?
Cardi B said in the interview lately, when y'all go low, I'm taking it to hell. Basically.
Hey.
I think that was probably with that feud with her and Nikki. But yeah, these young people, and I say young 20s and 30s, right? Maybe even 40s. Maybe they are some trollers and they are petty. And I've always said I could be queen of petty, but baby, some of these young folks, because then they got this, what's this stupid thing? Clock it. Something they do their hand and say clock it or whatever. And I'm like, what is that now? Y'all done made up. And so they go real
I'm still trying to figure out 6'7".
Hey, we can't. Because if you try to keep up with what they're doing, I'm thankful I have kids in their 20s and 30s because I go, what is that foolishness? What does that mean? And then they explain it to me and start laughing. They're like, Mom, and I'm just like, okay. So, anywho, I will let you all know next week whether or not there's going to be a Tony Talks candidacy. And I say that Tony Talks candidacy because people have walked up to my daughter and my parents and go, you're Tony Talks' daughter? Oh my God, you're so lucky.
I know, your name's Tony Talks.
Right, it's Tony Talks. They told my parents, you're Tony Talks' parents? And I said, do they even realize my name is not
We're
Tony
going to
Talks?
have to rebrand you under the Tony Bailey show or something,
It's Tony Talks. Because Hannah was talking to me last night. She's like, Mom, don't you remember that lady came up to me at work and was like, I saw you at at this town hall Saturday. And she was like, oh, you're rebuilding? She said, no, my mom gave that. So I, was there to support her. And she was like, wait a minute. Your mom is Tony Talks? And I was like, what?
Yeah, that's her full name.
Right,
Tony
exactly.
Talks,
I'm used to people calling me Tony Bailey, right? Because that's what my name has always been, and in Altadena growing up, people just, and in Altadena, people just say Jamal Smith, Brian Bach is Tony Bailey. Not just Tony, not just Brian, not just Jamal, right?
There's too many Tonys, too many Jamals, too many Brians.
That's Jamal after
Same. Everyone's, that's how the second.
No, I do put the cinnamon stick in there. I tried to tell you one day earlier this week, but you had something you were talking. So, but yeah, I do. I put that in there. It's good. Tastes good.
Isn't it good?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I keep them in my water.
Yeah, so when you have another hooch gathering, because
and so yeah, apparently if I do decide to run over the weekend or whatever, I'll come and say, Tony Talks will be running for, and guess what? I only need 10 seats to win. 10 votes to win. I pulled
10
up all
votes from who?
Altadenians. I just downloaded all. To get in there? Yeah, I just, so it says run for the council, right? And then it says there's all this stuff you need to click on. You need to agree to the ethics, bylaws, election rules. And when I clicked on them,
you gotta show up to everything.
The election rules, I think, said you need 10 votes. You have to have at least 10 votes to be elected. That's what, I don't know. So I downloaded them. I'm getting ready to highlight and really read through them, but I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, 2025 election rules. And it talks about the ethical standards and all that. So I'm going to familiarize myself with everything before I make a decision this weekend. But yeah, campaign rules, what you can do, general election procedure. And then, I have to do a candidate presentation. 90 seconds per candidate.
That shouldn't be too hard. Well, actually, it might be too hard for you. You have to break it down in 90 seconds. You got about 5 minutes worth of stuff you got to break down.
Nope. I'm going to just say, this is who I am, this is what I'm about, blah, 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 and that's going to be it.
I'm here to let you know that I've been here all my life, and I will fight till the end of it.
There it is.
Vote for me, Tony Talks.
And there are 3 dates of voting: Saturday, November 1st, Tuesday, November 4th, Saturday, November 8th, and then they tally everything, and new members will be sworn in Tuesday, December 16th. And I was looking again where
you'll get the world tour. So then you'll get the world tour of your constituency and nothing but dirt.
of the track. Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, so yeah, I will have decided for sure by the end of the weekend, because I just said, okay, Lord, what am I supposed to be doing? Is this the next step? Because he thrust us into this stuff with this podcast. I never thought I'd be doing that either. So
well,
we'll see.
that's your springboard.
Yeah.
Then you'll have a podcast for the Altadena Town Council. Get all them to be on it.
Oh, and okay, here it says candidates must receive at least 10 votes to be elected. That's what it says. So they're in.
Smack your auntie. Hey, smack your auntie.
Hey, Jack. Smack your auntie. So yeah, that's that. So I'll have to do something, Brian, and you'll have to make it a nice little video. 90 seconds.
Oh, don't worry. I'm all on the campaign.
You got that right.
That AI going and everything. And you remember that video that Michael Jackson did, black and white?
Mm-hmm.
Remember at the end where they were morphing everyone together?
Oh, that's what mine's gonna be.
Yeah, it's gonna be a morph of all of Altadenians into one candidate.
All righty.
Don't steal my ideas out there. I'll be putting them out there, but y'all can copy, but you can't copy. Do all you want to. I throw it out there just to see what you gonna do. Then I steal my idea back from you. Well, I think that does it for us. It's a Friday. Don't forget, Monday is a holiday, either Columbus Day or an Indigenous Peoples Day, whatever one you prefer. It's a federal holiday, meaning that you either have to go to work or you don't, depending on how you feel. Yeah.
And we may or may not be here on Monday. I'm speaking for myself.
Well, I'm definitely going to be here. I got to keep the party moving. So it's basically, the Monday show is really to let people know what happened over the weekend. So I will have some videos queued up from the last few weekends that I haven't been able to get, like Here Lay a Home and,
you starting right now?
Tomorrow, because, today is I got to dedicate to thoroughbred marshals.
You know how long it's going to take to upload those things?
No, I already uploaded them. I just now need to edit them and put names in and stuff like that, especially from the Eden Fire Collaboratory, where I did some video there too. So, but yeah, it's going to be a Stone Groove at the Thoroughbred Marshall 40-year reunion for class of 85.
All right. Well, happy Friday, everyone. Enjoy whatever. I think I have to go out to, where's that thing on Lincoln?
You talking about the Alfred
Art? Yeah, because he
Raymond?
texted me a couple weeks ago, invite me to it. So if I don't do anything else.
And you're going, because I was going to go, but I didn't know that this was coming up. So family obligations.
Yeah, I'll go there. But yeah, that'll be it. And whatever else might get into this weekend, everybody have what's morphology? Oh, what you were saying you were going to do.
Oh, yeah. It's black.
So have a great weekend, everyone. Jamal, I know you probably got things on tap with your family. Enjoy.
Yeah, just got a few things. Have
Brian,
a great weekend, everybody. Happy Friday.
That reunion. Congratulations on your 193rd episode. Thank you, Miss Barbara Bacchus. Appreciate you. Thank you. That's crazy. And on Monday,
I know. Who knew that this was going to get to this, get this far?
Yeah,
Brandon, just shut up, Brandon.
He said something else a little while
Fight
ago.
me.
Oh, he said gas prices will go up again before Thanksgiving. Whew. I feel for y'all.
Yeah, that's not helping me at all.
That sucks.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find me a little hostel out here to stay at for 3 days a week.
Yeah, because man,
Or
just put a futon on there.
Well,
you got a gym membership? You can go to the shower.
Oh no, I got YMCA.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying.
That's the best gym membership ever. $35 a month. compared to I'm paying $200 to go look at the gym and watch people wipe their butt sweat off the seat.
Anyway,
And you don't
have a
even
good
wanna get
weekend,
on
you
there.
all.
Yeah, I'm a little bit too true with it. So
Yeah, I'm gonna do like this. There, you're on mute. Anyway, enjoy. See you all on.
I'm still muted.
No, I just took you off. Goodbye. See you all later. Have a
Somebody
great
push the button. All right, it's bad luck for me to do it now.